All right, here we go. One of my all-time favorite reggae artists is back on VladTV. Mr. Vegas, welcome back.
Wagwan.
Man, listen,
Thank
our
you for
last
having
interview, I
me.
told you, like that scene from Belly,
Yeah.
the party scene, made me want to become a DJ.
You told me that when I saw you the last time.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's
sir.
true, man. My life would have been possibly different if you didn't do what you did.
Sucky ducky, right?
Sucky ducky.
Nah,
Exactly.
sucky ducky for we're no name brand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sucky ducky, the scene. And it made me want to become a reggae DJ. I ended up DJing for Barrington Levy for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a very impactful moment for him. Well, I've interviewed you before, but I want to get more into your whole story. So
Right.
let's start at the very beginning. So you were born in Kingston.
Yeah, I was born in Kingston, a place called Big Yard, and I left later on, like when I was 3-4 years old, I went to live in a place called Unity, of Pigeon Valley, up in the rural side of St. Andrew.
Okay. And what was that like in the 70s and 80s?
Well, in the 70s, for me, growing up in my mom used to do like domestic work, so she would like stay at wherever she worked, like in-house helper, and I would just be there with my brothers and sisters, my other siblings. But my brothers, they were like real strict, abusive, so I ran away from home. So that was when I came into contact with music, because I ran away and at night I would hang out around the sound system at a place called Fernhill. So I heard the music and I just fell in love with the sound of Tennessee and all those artists in the early days, so that's how I fell in love with music.
Well, before that happened, there was a situation that happened in 5th grade where you got your face slashed.
Right, when I was going to Albany Knowledge. So I went outside of my classroom and a guy was there. I think he was beating up one of my friends, and I was like, leave the man alone, man. And he just, as soon as I walked away, I slashed me across the face. So I grew up my whole early childhood. I had a big scar in my face, like a big caterpillar in my face, going through high school. It was like that.
Okay, was it a razor or a knife?
It was a knife.
Okay, so he just slashed you in the face and then just ran off.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, during those days in Jamaica, does a guy like that eventually get caught, or is it just, that's it, gone with the wind?
Well, my mom was like a Christian lady. She went to his mom and they were both Christians, and they was like, oh, they're children, and it was done. That's it.
Okay, that's
sir.
kind of disappointing.
It's just the way my mom, I think it's just her personality. It's more like a forgiving person.
Okay, so you were working in a cook shop, and
Right.
I guess you were singing, and Anthony Red Rose heard you sing?
I gave up on music. I used to hang out with Pick Out. Pick Out that gave Ninja Man and a lot of artists their recording break. So I used to be hanging out at the studio with Pick Out. So then Pick Out left to England. So I was on my own. So I went into the catering business. I started running a food shop. So one day I was there singing, on the top of my lungs, and Anthony Red Rose, one of our, great icons, he was passing the cook shop, and, I think he heard me singing. I saw the car reversing, and then he wound down the window, and was like, come out of the cook shop and go on a studio. So, it's just like something registered. And right after that, I had a confrontation with a guy. I went to jail, and, it was like real crazy in jail. I had to be like in the jail singing for the bad man, them in the jail and stuff like that. And, so when I left jail, I went straight to Freddie McGregor's studio. And I met a virgin called Dan Youth, and Jermaine Ford. And I did a cover of Killing Me Softly. So that started playing on the radio in Jamaica. Then he took me to Jeremy Harding. Now, Jeremy Harding was Sean Paul's manager. Yeah, so there I met Cobra. Yeah, Cobra does flex, time to have sex. So I met Cobra. So me and Cobra started parring, like hanging out. Yeah. Then I got my job on Broken as soon as that rhythm came out. Jeremy Harding produced that rhythm, Playground, that Beenie Man did Zim Zim on. Mm-hmm. So before I could get to go on the rhythm, someone broke my jawbone. A family member broke my jawbone. So my mouth was wired for like 6 weeks. But during that time, I had the beat, and I was like you know, humming on the beat. You in the air. So that was when I found Nike here. Yeah? So Nike here, I linked Cabra, and Cabra begged Jeremy Harding to record me on the beat because the beat was closed. Beanie Man killed the beat, Sean Paul killed the beat was closed. So Cabra was the one who begged him to put me on the beat. So when I went there the day, I just took the wires out my mouth, wired shut, so I went straight to the studio after the wires were taken out. And I basically did that song through my teeth. When me want to see you on in the air, never get us love it for you and I care. And the rest is just history. It came out, it started playing with Beanie Man's record. Because I was actually on the B side, the flip side, because you remember those days, you had the 7-inch. So like a lesser artist would be on the flip side, where the version would be. So I was on the flip side of the record, like the B side of the record. So then people found me on the B side and started playing my track.
Well, you talked about getting arrested. It was over a fight?
Yeah. A guy came, I was the same cook shop business. A guy that cooked some food, he didn't cook the food good, and I, fired him. So he still wanted to get paid even though he messed up the food. So I was like offering him something and he didn't want that. So he was like, came back with a cutlass and was like, he's gonna chop me up. So he had the cutlass in his back, and as soon as he did like this, I saw him reaching and I had a knife in my hand and I swung the knife. And as soon as I swung the knife, it burst his hand open. And some police was coming by at the same time and they just grabbed me and took me to jail. So while in jail, I was like, yo, I got to go to the studio.
How long were you locked up for that?
Just 2 days.
Oh, okay, nothing.
Right.
Got
it. 2 days in a Hunts Bay jail in Jamaica, trust me, is like a year, man. Trust me. Because, as not a bad man, because I'm not a bad man, I'm not a gangster, and you're going in there, man, it's like you're going amongst the roughest and the roughest, bro.
Okay, and the situation over getting your jaw broke,
right?
That was by a family member?
Yeah, family member.
So here you are, your singing career is starting to get going.
Right.
And then your own family member breaks your jaw.
My singing career, it just started, a little buzz because I did that Killing Me Softly and, 1 or 2 other songs. But right before I got the break with Nike here, that was when it happened.
Okay. Did you ever get him back?
No. No, I think he started losing his mind somehow, so I was just the recipient of that.